Cannabis community, how are you going to make your day complete? Remember, it's more than wake and bake. It's about letting the plant within, take over for today for a little bit. When we clear the mind, when we actually let it rest in meditation and take on the silence, what becomes obvious is the endocannabinoid system is rebooting, right? And that really does complete the endocannabinoid reset from the plant. When we take on cannabis, when we take on cannabis use, what is it doing? It is rebooting us. Now, for many who have been overwhelmed by stress in their lives, almost everybody in the modern lifestyle, this means that they are coming in unable to reboot because of the stress. Cannabis becomes an essential nutrient, and I'm enjoining you, take the cannabis seriously.
Jah, Rastafari, my God is here. I don't know how this is, but whenever I see people with the plant, what I know is, I know that living God is alive in my community, in my people, and it's here with you all here. Right? I am so blessed to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you. Right? Oh my God.
Thank you and everybody that looks
and
like
everybody like you.
Yeah.
Right? God bless.
Yeah.
Right. One of the things we know is when the plant is in our lives, it opens us up to the divinity within. It's always there. But how does the plant make the divinity stronger?
Well, and it's not just the physical plant; it's the spiritual plant.
Right.
That's right. That's right.
Because the
peace within
plant
that it
is
brings.
the spirit of the plant. It's what it does, how it
It's sole
transcends
It's sole
everything about us.
Right. Right. So that's the thing. Right. The God within is lit up. It's the plant within that we're here to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. So how do you?
It's
the cannabis
already
community-
lit. It's us that's not lit
That's
until
right.
we're lit.
How do you keep it lit all day long? That's our question. That's why I'm the physician for the people. Because the people in the cannabis community, this community took on prohibition. They said, no, I am illegally healed, and that's not right. I'm going to make it legal. You know, with everything wrong, how'd y'all make it right? Right? That's what I want to know. Right? And when we get our power, we're going to take our leadership back. Because we have been the stigmatized community. God bless, we need you to be in charge. Everybody, I need you to be in charge. This young man, I'm telling you,
Together, we
this
are
young
strong.
man.
Well,
Right?
and everything is designed for us to not feel in charge.
Right.
It's, like, no, what you need to be happy is to buy this thing, or you need to get this
That's the
new
control
car,
of the
even though
machine.
your
That's
old
all
car is
that
perfectly
Control the
well,
machine that
Right.
grinds
but
us in our
it's
gears
not
every day.
new. It's not shiny.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly. What do people discover when they take on the cannabis in their lives?
They discover so many things that you've never known.
Right.
The inner peace that some
Inner
people can't find
peace.
because the rage just calms them all the time.
Oh my God, you could not say a more profound thing. The disease of our time is a failure of imagination. We are so stressed
Oh, no,
out.
yeah, you're not supposed to imagine a damn thing.
My goodness.
Everything is spelled out for you.
So cannabis was put here by God, and if you find it in the Bible, it was mistranslated. It's translated actually,
Tree of life.
right, tree of life. Also, it's calamus, right? In the Greek, it's actually cannabosum, right? It was mistranslated
Cannabosum.
cannabosum, right? So Jesus actually took on about
Google
100
it.
plants and about a quart of olive oil and dabbed it into the third eye. This gentleman knows. It's cinnamon, right? Yeah, right. Cassia, right? That's how it was referred to in the Common Testament. Absolutely, that's how this basically.
And
was
who
a
doesn't
terpenes.
want some cinnamon?
Right. So we know that the medicine to get the soul on the surface is there already. It's told us, but it's been mistranslated, right? They mistranslated all the books. You know that. It's not celibate, it's celebrate.
That's right.
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Oh.
they got it wrong. It's not celibate. It's celebrate.
So don't go in a cave all by yourself.
No.
Get together with people and the plant.
So this is it. And coexist. And this is where we are right now. It's the plant within we're talking about.
Celebrate.
Like what we need to know as a cannabis community, right? The plant triggers the divinity within. It doesn't come from the plant, but it does help. Now, everyone, I know that there are hundreds of people around the world actually listening to this program. I checked it out. People in Mexico, people in Australia, right? People here in their intention in this room can reach out now to the people who are hearing us. And just in that moment, in a meditative moment, if we all know Jah is alive in us and alive in the people who are listening, that only gets stronger. So if there's a puff that you're going to puff, there's a thought that you're going to think, take it in now.
Imbibe the spirit.
And remember
people.
that God loves you.
God loves you.
And the more that you know that God loves you,
the
the more
plant
that you
is the
love
proof.
God.
The plant is the
plant will love
proof.
you
And the plant will love you back. This is the battery that people have been waiting for. And this is the community where it lives. And I'm thanking you. Thank you for making it true.
How do you spell God? W-E-E-D.
Right. Thank you. Listen, I want to take us out to the Chomsky, Jay. Right. There's no way to follow that up. Thank God. And we're going to go on to how do we fuck capitalism out of our lives.
Thank you.
How do we get real now? All right. Now that we say the invocation, now we say the blessing. Now you get it to work. There's never been a medical reason to fucking criminalize marijuana.
No.
All right.
Never.
Never.
Play it. Tell me now.
Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with dangerous classes, poor people. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes. First criminalization of marijuana was in the Southwest. It was in New Mexico, later Utah, and so on, and it was specifically targeted against Mexicans. Marijuana didn't get criminalized in the United States until shortly after Prohibition ended. After Prohibition ended, we had this huge bureau of narcotics and had to do something. So they discovered marijuana is going to do all kind of horrible things to you. The Senate testimony about this is mind-boggling. They did have a representative of the American Medical Association who said, we don't have any medical evidence about this. He was shut up, denounced, rid of him right away. Then they found somebody else, a pharmacologist, a guy teaching at Temple University, who was doing experiments with marijuana in dogs. They brought this guy in. He testified that when he gave marijuana to dogs, they went insane. Marijuana to dogs, they went insane. They do all kind of things. Some senator asked him, the guy, well, have you ever tried marijuana on humans? So he said, yeah, I tried it on myself. And he said, well, what happened? He said, I turned into a vulture. I started flying around the room. This stuff is terrible. It makes people insane. And marijuana, it was declared by Congress that marijuana makes people insane. But then something happened. It turned out that lawyers, defense lawyers, got the idea and used this for an insanity defense. So if a guy was found, who killed 3 cops, his lawyer would say, well, he had marijuana before, so he was insane, so he can't do anything. And people were getting off on charges, like cop killing, for example, on the claim that they had marijuana. So all of a sudden it was discovered that marijuana doesn't make you insane. Congress decided, sorry, it doesn't make you insane because we want to wipe that out. The next idea was marijuana is an entry drug. It's a drug you take and then you go on to something else. Well, there was never any evidence for that. But that was decided. And then in the early 50s, something else happened. Marijuana is being brought in here by red Chinese to poison the American population and destroy us. So therefore, we got to stop marijuana. And it kind of goes on like this. Actually, the peak of marijuana use was, as I said, in the 70s. But that was rich kids, so you don't throw them in jail. And then it got seriously criminalized. You really throw people in jail for it when it was poor people. There has never been a medical reason for criminalizing marijuana. Marijuana was criminalized because it was associated with poor people, dangerous classes.
Right. I was working today with my friend who was coming over to fix my house.
Yeah.
Right. He goes, oh my God, look at your sink is all backed up.
Uh-oh.
I know, for real. And so I says, listen, I need to fix it. He goes, well, where does this pipe go? And I go, fuck. I got to tell him where the pipe goes. It goes right through the grow room. Right. So I had to. In that split moment, I had to decide: am I going to tell the contractor about my grow room? Right. I'm in D.C., but still, do I want people to know? Right. Here's the thing: the guy almost cried because he found out he could be honest with me. He goes, "Oh my God, and I'm a doctor in real life, right? So, and I practice out of my house. And he goes, "Oh my God, I died on the surgical table about 6 months ago. I was in a hip replacement surgery. I had an allergy to the anesthesia. Right? I woke up with an epileptic convulsion, and I've had epilepsy ever since. And the only medicine that works for him is what?
The plant.
The plant. Right? The plant. Now, the man actually doesn't live in D.C., right? Man's running for his life. Man's scared to death. And the fact that I could talk to him like a human being, like he wasn't a criminal. Do you know he started to almost cry?
You probably have another subject for your practice.
Right. Oh, my God. It's like just the honesty of like, yeah, dude, of course you have to use cannabis. What else would work? Yeah, he came
It
out
works for so much.
Right.
And the persecution is so deep.
So deep.
And we have to overcome it.
Right. Here's honest guy. Right. What is he going to go?
It's the next phase.
Right.
It
What-
has to happen.
Right.
It has to happen.
So one of the reasons why-
dinosaurs have to die. We got to get this stuff going.
Well, one of the things he says to me is that he has to give back his guns now.
Oh,
Right. As a
because
medical,
he's medicated.
right? Because he's a medical cannabis patient, he's not allowed. So we're going to ask a question. How legal is legal? Right. How legal is legal? Right. Are you going to be like everybody else?
You
Or-
can be on a prescription for schizophrenia, so there's more than one of you,
Right.
and they'll give you a gun.
Right.
If you're having smoke that makes you one with everything,
Yeah. If I
they
love
won't let you have a gun. Heaven forbid you can hit a target. Oh, no.
Oh, hell yeah. Right? We were talking last show about how cannabis, in the studies of cannabis does not impair the driver. Right? New Zealand study shows does not impair the driver, but multiplies the impairment of alcohol.
Yep.
Right? Now, who's going to pay the bill? Is the cannabis community going to say, "Oh yeah, you should test my saliva to see if I'm drunk,"
Oh,
or are we going to say, "Fuck off"? Right? It doesn't
here's-
do anything.
Here's another
It's
thing.
up to you.
That's another fucking thing for. Another thing for the liquor companies to object to. It's like you don't need to drink as much to get off as much because you're already puffing and you have a cocktail. You're good for the night.
Yeah, screw them.
And they're losing money.
Right?
Oh no.
The cannabis community needs to take on that inebriation is different than euphoria.
Yes.
Right? You can be euphoric with cannabis and not be a threat. Someone drinks 2 beers, fuck them. I've owned a bar.
Oh no.
I've owned a bar, and I'll tell you the difference between cannabis and alcohol, and it's called vomit.
Well, and it's not 3 beers.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
2 shots of Jack Daniels
Yeah, yeah.
And a Bud back.
Right.
And,
Oh, God, yeah.
and somebody's going to
Oh,
come
my
and
God.
I can beat everybody up in here.
I can't tell you about my bar. I couldn't get rid of it soon enough. Have you ever seen a human being get stomped?
Oh, yeah.
No, you don't want to know.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
don't
no,
wanna-
I've been there.
Right. I've never seen.
I've been a bystander to a stomp.
I've been to Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I've been to Colorado.
Right.
I'm all over in cannabis. I've never seen anyone even get mean.
No, not with
Right, no.
with smoke.
No.
You go to a coffee shop, everybody's, how you doing?
Right. The only thing you can see with people when they
Hey.
get puffed, they get a little bit too enthusiastic. Like, I love you. No, I mean, I really.
No, really.
I
no,
really love you.
No, me and God
You
love
you.
And I understand
Yeah.
why God
You don't want to
loves
love the police.
I
Remember
understand.
that.
No.
No matter how shiny their badges are.
No.
Right? They love you too. Right? Right? So I got to tell you this. Right? One of the things we're working on as a community is how do we distinguish tolerance, right? The fact that a lot of people take on cannabis, right? Cannabis is such a giving herb. This is the pitfall, right? As a practitioner, what I learned about cannabis is that people can eat like shit and the cannabis will still let them feel good, right? You can have cancer and the cannabis will actually say, okay, you're going to be all right. You can have a dead end fucking job working for the man, like working for Scrooge.
Working for Scrooge.
You can work for fucking
Merry
Scrooge,
Christmas.
puff a J, and you know what? Scrooge is okay. You can see his fucking angel. Right now, this is where
Which
we
takes work.
Right, this is where I actually want to distribute to the cannabis community some of my outrage and hostility. Yeah, for real. I think we're a little bit too kind. We're a little bit too kind. We're a little bit too tolerant. Right, a little bit too tolerant. I want to treat everything like they treat weed. I want to treat alcohol like they treat weed.
It's interesting though because you talked about Scrooge's angel and
right, Scrooge's angel.
Driving up here, I'm listening to the satellite radio and a song comes on, and my heart opens up and it's all about compassion.
Right, right.
And in these days and times, one doesn't know what to do when you're overcome with a wave of compassion because we're being discouraged, folks.
No,
We
more than-
need this. We need this thing. We need to open up our compassion stuff. But don't be stupid. Don't be thinking that the man ain't trying to take you out.
Yeah, that's actually one of the big themes in the show. Is
It's
to
tricky.
what degree is the government acting, the elite are acting, the bankers, the money men are acting to keep the plant away from us, to make us sick, to divide us, to turn us into each other's enemies rather than into the community.
Well, and they don't want to cure us. They want to treat us.
Right. All the thing I can say is
They
that,
want to give us stuff that we have to keep getting a prescription
Yeah.
for that costs us $50, $60, $100, $300
yeah, let me
a
get,
month.
Let me get to the thread of this because you're right. The big thread is this: when prohibition hit, all right, we know it disrupted many fields of business. Right, things we come to
Absolutely.
right? Textiles is the one.
Scared them to death.
Right. Pharmaceuticals is obvious. Beer, alcohol, obvious. Textiles not as obvious, like cotton fibers.
Textiles
Right?
and petrochemicals. And yeah, cotton
Wait,
versus hemp.
But now, the one that people forget about is hay.
Hey.
Hay. No, for real, hay. Before 1937, the number one feed that you gave your animals on the farm was feral hemp. It was naturally high in CBD. So CBD and CBDA were natural constituents in the food supply.
Contented cows.
Right, contented cows.
I mean, seriously.
Right? So now when you
contented
look at
cows.
how that CBD is missing from the food chain, right? Not only do you have lactose intolerance, you
It's
have,
nutritious.
Right. It's very.
It settles your system,
oh my God.
not just mentally.
Let's talk about the nutrition of the endocannabinoid system. That's what we're here
Physically.
for, right? When the endocannabinoid system is healthy, what does that do?
It makes everything else better.
Well, that's true about a lot of things. But what's unique about the endocannabinoid system?
I don't know.
Oh, thanks for asking. Because it's about reboot effect, right? So one of the weird things about physics is true about life, right? The hallmark of any network system, like the internet, if it's
Yes.
broke, what do? You shut it
You
off.
unplug it and plug it back in.
Right, reboot it. Right?
Yes.
Right. If a fucking computer is lost in a loop, you don't throw the computer away.
No.
You reboot it.
Reboot it.
Now that's what we're saying is true about the human nervous system. Same idea, same quantum network applicability, right? A quantum system can be entered at any node. Same thing with human nervous system, right? Same thing with any quantum computer. Same principle applies. It's
Right.
not mechanical. Is what
No.
I'm trying to say. It's not like a clock.
It's neurological.
All right, now the vitamin that allows you to reboot is cannabis. Is the CBD and THC and entourage effect. So when you go to sleep,
Well, and I think
what's
people
happening?
have a misunderstanding of what vitamins
Right,
are.
right. That's good. That's a
And
good point.
so if you can
Right.
elaborate on that.
Right, nutrition, right? Right, that's a good point. What is it? What is a vitamin? What is a supplement? We're so fucking taught to think of it as a drug. So we're getting far afield if we go too far. But let's make this analogy. And I
Try
do
not
this-
to get too deep.
Don't get too deep, right? But like the difference between like taking an antibiotic for your pneumonia and taking NyQuil, right? One, you got a germ killer. The NyQuil, they've got shit in it though. Why does the NyQuil work?
Because it puts you to sleep.
You fucking reboot in the deep sleep. You're not going to wake yourself up coughing,
That's right.
right? What happens if you actually sleep through the night when you have pneumonia?
Your body has a chance
To heal
to go
itself.
after the stuff.
Right, and that's the kind of doctor I am. I'm really interested why the body doesn't heal itself, right? Everything else, the doctors can do that shit. Machine can do that. Surgery can do that. Fine, but the real story is how do you do it yourself?
Machines that go,
No, not gonna happen. Don't fucking work.
no.
Right? No, it don't work. Right? What
Bad
really works is when
machines.
the endocannabinoid system works. Right? Right on, Carter. Hey, what did you learn, by the way, while you were out there? I love weed.
I love it too.
I love it too. Right? One thing I know, our grandkids are gonna puff weed the way our grandparents used to fucking smoke tobacco. Right? And they're gonna be happier than us because they're gonna make sure.
Frankly, I think before the 30s,
Yeah.
most of your farmers, I mean, the Wildwood Flower, it's a folk song. It's a
Right.
folk song. It
Yeah,
was a
let's-
celebration of this thing that grew in your garden amongst everything
let's talk
else.
about
It
that.
was a nitrogen
Hey.
fixer. It made the soil better. And if you
Amendment.
rolled some up, or even if you just started chewing on the leaves,
Right. Right. What we need to
things
know.
get better.
Anybody seen the corncob pipe? Now, you ever try to smoke tobacco out of a corncob pipe?
That was the first pipe I ever had.
Right, corncob pipe doesn't fucking. It will burn if you put tobacco in it. Ever try it?
Yep.
No, it doesn't fucking work.
I own
What
one.
the fuck can you smoke in a corncob pipe? Why is it traditional in America? Why you see fucking Frosty the Snowman with a cob?
Because farmers, it was so easy to make it when you were out on the farm. You could just grab the cob, cut it in half, and stuff the stem in there, and you had your pipe.
And you had your pipe,
It
and you were
wasn't no
smoking
problem
hemp.
for the farmer back then.
And
That's
back
why it
then,
was
and they were
corn
smoking
cob.
fucking hemp though. That's the
Exactly.
other
Granny
point.
Yeah,
Yoakum.
exactly.
They were smoking hemp.
Granny
Right, so-
Yoakum from Little Abner.
Right?
Yes, sir.
That
Absolutely.
was, she never did not have her pipe.
We got a quote from Abe Lincoln. He's writing the harmonica company. Now dig this, Abe Lincoln. He's saying, "I love your harmonicas. I like nothing better than sitting on the porch playing the harmonica and smoking
Smoking
your
hemp.
sweet hemp."
Yep.
Right? Fucking Lincoln's fucking toting the Indiana ditchweed.
One of the best presidents
Right.
ever.
The quotes from Jefferson was that he liked to watch across the veranda and smoke hemp on his porch.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Jefferson always said, like if we could only devote ourselves to pure thought. Now that brings us back to the ECS, right? I do want to talk about this. Do people here meditate? I remember reading about when Bob
Smoke
Marley
meditate.
was raising his son Ziggy, the eldest son, right? And he says actually Ziggy's not allowed to puff until he's ready for to take it on meditatively. Right? I thought it was fascinating. About
That's a great idea.
That's the point of the
That's
that. Right. It's the point of the
For
earth.
that is the meditation.
The meditation.
herb brings you.
he's
Right, exactly.
rooting it
Let's
in
talk
the
about
one of
spiritual. He's rooting it in the spiritual.
That was one of Bob's biggest things is the fact that the herb was so spiritual that it would bring you back to yourself.
Right.
If you had lost who you were, lost your shadow, so to speak, you had found it back because you found this herb.
Right.
Like that was job.
No, I'm telling you, this is true. That thing, that's why they killed him. right? What we know now, I don't know if you saw the declassified files. It's been confirmed that CIA, our tax dollars killed Bob Marley, right? They put the needle
Brain
in the
tumors are a sign that you've been visited by the CIA.
by the cancer virus, right? Because what he says is true. Now, what also Bob Marley said is true is that someday the bottom will drop out of the bucket that goes to the well, right? And that's our era.
Someday the bottom will drop out.
Someday the bottom will drop out, and that is our time. Right, there's nobody here who wants to go back to the man. Does anybody want to go back to fucking go to war? Who wants to go to war with North Korea?
No.
Right? Does anybody want to fight for Donald Trump? Anybody?
No, thank you.
Anybody want to fucking fight for even Al Franken?
I don't have any beef with people that are being starved to death by a crazy guy, and we got a crazy guy that wants to starve us to death.
Not gonna
He's
nobody.
already starving our people.
He's
Exactly.
working on it.
No, no,
He's
no.
working the hell out of it.
No. I want peace, love, and a place where we can grow weed and puff with our friends.
Yes.
Right? This is heaven on earth, and anybody doesn't say so, have them smoke some weed.
The big challenge of talking about politics is that you're affirming the existence of the problem.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
But the other side of that is the problem is still a problem.
Right. Jay, when you get us, I want you to take us out. I want you to take the Chomsky. I want to resolve this into another being.
Uno más.
Uno más. Uno más. Take us one more time. Okay?
Por favor.
Por favore.
Fact is that to an extraordinary extent, by comparative standards, the United States is a business-run society, which means that human rights are subordinated to the overwhelming, overriding need of profit for investors. Decisions are placed in the hands of unaccountable private tyrannies, which means that even if formal democratic practices exist as they do, they're of peripheral significance. The government, in fact, is, as John Dewey called it 50 or 60 years ago, the shadow cast by business over society, so that modifications in the shadow are not going to change the substance. These are truisms throughout most of American history, including American working class history, until quite recently, until the 1950s, in fact. And it also means that social policy is geared to the transfer of wealth and power to those who already have it, and deliberately.
All loud.
But I want to do a tribute to our commander-in-chief, and maybe like for the next 5 minutes, I'm going to talk him, because the other day, when he was talking about Jerusalem, he was starting to lose control of his face. So I don't know what prescription stuff he's on, but he's
Sure,
like
he's your
taking
friend.
more than he's probably
that's
supposed
just
to.
plastic surgery
United
stuff.
States of America. But they did plastic on his tongue.
Listen.
Sorry.
One thing-
And for the speech impaired members of our society, I am not coming at you. I'm coming at the
You're just a Botox
president.
Listen, I got people calling me up and following me on Instagram from Amsterdam. Did you hear about this?
Amsterdam from
No,
Instagram from Amsterdam.
Instagram.
That's a lyric right
Do you know
there.
what they're looking at? You know what they want to know? It's like, how you get these concentrates out at $60 a gram? I can't sell them for $17 where I'm at. Right? Honest to fuck. You know who's looking at DC right now? The whole fucking
Amsterdam.
world.
Hey, well, that way, that's a good way for him to
Right?
look at us. And
No, it's fascinating to me because somehow here, what are we doing right?
Any legal market right now is under scrutiny by any outside market.
Right, fascinating.
They are doing their due diligence. They're getting ready to swoop as soon as the market opens up to where they can take full control and advantage.
Right, yeah. So you think there's going to be a big cannabis coming rolling through it as soon as we get
The
sued?
influx is coming. As soon as the 2018 vote goes through for recreational, we're going to have to really watch everything that goes down.
So what do you think the first thing's going to go wrong? I mean, what do you think the first thing to happen? They're going to eliminate the home grow?
They're never going to
Monsanto.
eliminate the home grow and the moonshiner. The moonshiner age will always survive. Somebody's always going to want to grow their own medicine or make their own medicine.
Yeah, but we haven't had legal since 2009. It's since Illinois. Illinois was the last state, and that was the last of the East Coast grow
Well,
programs.
and then DC.
Oh, DC, yeah.
The initiatives
Rock,
in
rock,
DC,
building. Sorry, I'm not able to make the show today.
Scrogger said
Welcome to Scrogger.
Crushed through.
Welcome.
Thank you, Capital Counter News.
Absolutely, he's so good.
There are no
Right through.
accidents. There is only divine intervention.
Listen, so one of the things I'm really excited about, we got Big Bong in the house tonight. All right, so one of the things I've been reaching out to people who are doing cool things. So I really want to talk about the next person I got coming up. Right, this guest, right, they're putting on reggae flair events, right, Big Bong events. And what I love about this is that this is authentic. Again, reggae beat. It's different than all these other kind of cultural traffics. No, I don't know. You're not yet. No.
But when?
When he comes.
When?
When he comes. I just
Okay,
want to say.
when he comes.
Because reggae is different.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. What do
Let's
you want to know
mellow.
about reggae that's different?
Let's
Because I don't know about reggae,
Bunny Whaler.
right?
Bunny Whaler for
Right,
sure.
I want to know what makes their events different. I want to know how we can make them shine. I want to know how we can get people to know more about them, be excited to go out to check them out.
I just want to play bass.
Well, you're good at a lot of things, Bob. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'll just put this out there: if there's a reggae band and your bass player has broken his leg or his hand, I can sit in.
Can you sit in?
I play fretless, but I got rhythm.
Oh, you got some rhythm. So he got rhythm. The other thing
I
wanna
know
talk
where
about
we're
is-
coming from. I know the reggae hesitation. I know the emphasis.
Oh, the other thing I want to tell you
I
about.
listen to Bob all the time.
I want to tell you about is the CBD. All right, been working with
CBD.
Been working with this farm in Kentucky. Right, we just got the lab analysis done from the CBD oil. What is fascinating about the CBD oil is that when you put it in your mouth, it's so nutritionally potent, you actually feel it immediately, and I can't account for it chemically.
Like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to account for it.
Does your
Because-
tongue get numb?
No, it's almost like you feel it soothing, but it couldn't possibly be getting into your liver that quickly.
It could.
Oh, brother, that means it's getting into your lymphatics. This means it's super
No,
purified.
it's more. It's neurological, and they're studying there's
No, you're right. It's cranial nerves that go right to your brain. So something when it's really
the
pure,
vagus
you're right.
nerve. The vagus
No,
nerve.
the vagus nerve is number 10. That's called the traveler. I'm sorry. The one in the front is cranial nerve number 1 and 2.
Okay.
Nose and smell.
But there are
don't
studies
let me get
about
on
the
you.
vagus nerve that it's really hot and that it's always on.
Yeah, it is. But that's yeah.
So it could very well be that because the vagus nerve is a survival kind of thing,
Right,
and
right, right.
and your mouth is part of your survival system. If you don't eat, you die.
So it could be the Vegas.
It could be the
It
Vegas.
could be.
It
Why-
could be.
Who knows? But all we know is that really good CBD, when you take it on your lifestyle, it's different. So the big thing, what do you notice with the CBD? Yoga. You can stretch.
Yoga.
Right. That's the beautiful thing.
Flexible.
And that's really what I want to tell
Flexible
people.
in body and mind.
Right. Is take on the CBD, get flexible. Then all of a sudden you're a yoga pro. Did you know this?
Well, coming from a semi-yoga background, I think the whole pro thing is kind of a stretch.
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Right.
But the pro thing is they're not competitive.
Right.
It's
right.
like you're just trying to
No,
get
let's-
the body to do what the body naturally
let me finish,
does.
Let me finish this, okay? I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Go for it.
Okay, so the yogic phrase is called asana.
Asana.
Asana. All right, what is an asana? It's a yoga pose that creates a body-mind state.
You'll never have a pain in the asana.
Right? The body-mind state is what you create with the yoga.
Yes.
Now, the thing about modern life, you can put yourself into a kind of pose, but it doesn't do anything to you.
No,
Because
doesn't
you're
hurt
ju-
you.
Because
Doesn't
in
hurt you.
modern life, we are disconnected from our bodies through the way that we sit, the way that
They
we work.
want to separate us from ourselves every chance they get. And yoga is the total
And
opposite
right,
of that.
Right. Now, and when we get to the yoga, that's why we're trying to say, how do you get that integrated?
Yes.
Right? The CBD brings you to the integration, like in nothing else.
CDB.
CDB. CDB.
No, CBD. I'm
CBD.
sorry. I keep going to that. I had that in third grade, and it made a strong impression. CDB.
CDB.
But CBD.
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 Yeah. Right? The CBD.
BD is a very busy
Right.
D.
So the thing we want to
Yeah.
branch out as a community, right? CBD to all the yoga people. I want to see CBD in every yoga studio because it's going to make your classes work better. Right?
And I'm a big fan of yoga pants already, so we're there.
Right? If we can make that CBD and the yoga pant thing work together, come on, the cannabis community takes over.
Even when a babe that's extra has the yoga pants, it's still good.
A babe.
Oh man.
A babe.
Well, I'm
Yoga
sorry.
pants are one of
I'm
the best
political.
inventions ever.
Right now,
If you put in jail every time somebody opens their mouth and says something politically incorrect, we're going to need private prisons because there ain't going to be anybody on the street.
right. Well,
Our mouths just can't be that disciplined.
no, yeah, no. The yoga pant is something else. I do
It's
think.
hard.
No, do think some people spray paint that stuff on. It's not actually a pants.
Ooh, no. Well, I've seen that too. I've got the internet.
Yeah, that's all right. So listen, I want to get money out to people who want a cannabis business. Who wants a cannabis business?
Cannabis.
All right,
Cannabis.
We're going to be talking about that after the break. All right, Jay, if we could take us out, or you take us out to Chomsky, and then we'll get ready for our guest.
Chomsky. So I'm up.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
We're good.
Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. I would be very cautious about giving rich people special benefits so their kids can go to school, benefits of one kind or another, to people of income levels, $80,000, $100,000 a year. But I think the median income in the United States is something like around 30-some. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. I would be very cautious about rich people. You know, the big investment firms are now distributing brochures to their rich customers, telling them, look, we've taken over the health system, we've taken over the criminal system, we're right now taking over the welfare system. Here's a new way to enrich ourselves at public expense. The way we will do it is by setting up EMOs, Educational Management Organizations, which will do wonders for the educational system like HMOs do for healthcare. EMOs like HMOs for healthcare. Namely, they will be able to take more and more money away from the system and put it in private power, meanwhile shaping care so that it mostly benefits the rich, making sure that the really rich people get everything and harm everybody else. And now we can do it to the educational system, the last big government monopoly. It's not put this way, it's all put in terms of efficiency and what nice people we are, and we're going to make everything much better for everyone, because we're just benefactors and so on. But go through it, and that's what it is. I would be very cautious about making sure that the rich people get everything. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying. Who's paying? Well, the poor people are paying.
Your generosity. Amen to generosity. Right, I got some of those generous people in the community here in D.C. right now. I'm here with Marvin from Big Bang. I'm here with Real Deal Farms, Mr. Corey, Real Deal. I'm here with some of the most beautiful people in D.C. right now. And I really want to talk to my friend Marvin. We talked on the phone before. Dude.
What's up?
Dude, can you imagine, 10 years ago, could you imagine we'd be sitting here today, right, in D.C., hanging out with friends, out in the open, and sharing cannabis?
Absolutely not. And let me just say this. What you're doing for the community is awesome.
Same, brother. Same.
And we appreciate it, and the universe appreciates it
Right?
as well. So, with that said, no, I couldn't have imagined this. I went to Howard.
Right?
I'm a
Oh, yeah?
Howard alumni. And right across the street, literally every day, we used to smoke blunts right on Georgia Avenue. I don't know if all these young people know, but
Right?
there was a Yums, we had a La Bamba.
When they had Georgia Avenue days.
Oh my God! Okay, so now we're going in, and we had the meal plan over at La Bamba when we were students at Howard, and we used to come over to La Bamba and get our Phillies and Steel, and everything was good back then. But anyway, we used to. There's a lot of history here.
Yeah.
So could I have imagined this 10 years ago? I wasn't really around here 10 years ago. I've been raising my daughter.
Yes, sir.
She's 10. But 20 years ago, 10 years ago, hell no.
Hell no. Hell no.
But thank God. Thank God.
Thank
it's here.
God.
Yeah.
Right? No, this is a blessing from God. Right? That somehow I know the divine is alive. And I'm not just saying this to be preachy. For real, this is the way that we undo the spell that is somehow stuck with our time. Our time is a failure of imagination. And now the cannabis is here to light us back up. What you said about Bob Marley before is so true. We have lost our way.
Yep.
We have lost our way, and the cannabis is the only way to reboot.
Yep.
right? So if you see someone, I want to just tell them, if you're in town tonight, come here. If you're in town tomorrow night, come to Big Bong, right? Where's your event at?
Our event tomorrow is at the Mason Inn.
Oh, that's cool.
At the Mason Inn.
Right? How do people get in? The Eventbrite or they follow you?
Follow us on big_bong. Everybody in DC calls it Bang.
Bang, right? But it's spelled BH.
BHANG. It's an ode to India,
Right.
where the culture, where the culture is heavy over there, the cannabis culture.
Yeah.
Originally,
Hashish, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is bong originally? What bong is a combination of
it's a
leaf.
combination of it's some kind of concoction they do over there.
It gets you seriously stoned.
That gets you bombastic. It's they put cinnamon in it.
Oh.
It's kind of like a thick coffee kind of thing. It's almost like a
Fascinating.
drink.
It's really weird. Like,
Yeah, it's
yeah,
weird.
it's liquid. It's drinkable.
yeah.
A cannabis
Exactly,
milkshake.
it's like a milkshake.
Right? That's fascinating. Hey,
So that's another reason why we did it, because it's like everybody has their own little take on it.
right.
And that's what it's about. It's not really about like, this is ours. No, this is for everybody.
For everybody,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And it connects us back to the world tradition that makes it about something that's part of the community. It's right.
Exactly.
It's not some kind of like, woo, I've owned a bar. I know the difference between getting people some flour and then giving some people something to get fucked up.
I couldn't have said it better.
for
And I want to give a shout out to the Mason Inn, because they have a lot of history as well. I don't know if you're from around here, but
it's a nice place.
yeah. Ian McKay? He was from like a punk band called I forgot their name, but Bad Brains.
Yes, Bad Brains.
If you've ever heard of them.
Yeah.
The Mason Inn was their bar. That's where they used to perform at. So shout out to the Mason Inn.
Shout out to DC. The music culture in DC is deep.
yeah,
From freaking
yeah.
hip, from go-go, right, to Bad Brains, to Pentagram, to the bands that come out of DC, the scenes that come out, Chuck Brown, even Dave Grohl, right, the band Screams, right, Foo Fighters, all that. DC is deep.
Well,
right?
Dave Grohl's from Virginia, but still
right.
nowadays
It's right
it's
outside.
nowadays
right.
it's the DMV. So it's all,
It is the DMV, right? So that's the way it's supposed to be. The DMV is the city on the hill.
The Beltway has brought it all together. Like,
Right? City on the hill. That's the presence of God. Right? And somehow the cannabis came to us to share with the world. Right? I couldn't be more honored to have you on the show, for real. What you're doing for what you're doing, I'll give you an example. I had a little old lady come visit me. One of the things I'm specialized in is cancer treatment, right? So I used to be director of alternative medicine. Now, I used to puff on the side, and people and my patient would say, here, right? Well, this is the weed I'm smoking. So I say, you're fucked up. You can't smoke that weed, right? And we got to get you on the chemo. Got to take care of you, right? On the side, I'm smoking the weed myself. Now they say, no, right? So then I look at the blood work. I said, look and see. Oh my God, it's better. And these people will be getting better because they sleep better, they eat better, right? So all of a sudden, this is where I realize, oh my God, I got to get hip with the patients are telling me to learn.
Sure.
Right? So the point is one of these old ladies know I'm helping them. They come back to see me. How am I going to help them? I bring them to an event. They meet people. They make the connection, right? It's not about me, like I could do it. It's people like you, the people like here as the vendors. I got to tell you, that's why I got to tell you, give back to you. You're the people who make this woman able to eat and get through a chemo. It's not me.
You could bake Granny a pan of brownies.
Right. But I would have to get the flowers here, right?
Granny
and it comes out
loves
of this
brownie.
community, right?
That's exactly right. And that's why, like, when we started this as, like throwing events, it was to put the vendors out there. Like, to give respect to the vendors, because they put in like a lot of work. Like, they're real creative, and the way they package. Like, we put all praise and credit to the vendors.
Right on.
You know what I mean?
The gift economy is real. Anybody wants to say, oh, no, it's fake. No. It's real. Every person who is actually a vendor is a professional who you got to spend time to actually. Their time is worth something. You go talk to a vendor. I want their time to be taken
Takes
care
a
of.
lot of
And
work.
not to
It takes
digress,
a lot of work.
but-
It's
but-
not about the flowers.
But
Not
to
a
go
joke.
back to the Indian thing and the religious and the spiritual, there is like a whole bunch of guys. There's a whole religion. The mantra is Om Hara Hara Gunja Om. And
He said, hara hara, good
you
go.
cannot be in this religious group unless you are part of the plant culture. It's understood. You're here.
Right? I'll take that.
And they are there because it is here.
So in that case, that's sort of true, right? Then in that
That's
case,
exactly
the vendors
right.
are putting on church. And right now, what you come to is
It
I'm
is.
here,
It's
and I'm showing you right now the
It's
deacons.
spiritual.
And everybody here is also ministers. Right? This gentleman over here.
People need to
this
make
gentleman
money
over
to
here
get
taking notes.
by,
He
but
can do
they
something
aren't
awesome with this
taking
movement.
you down the
Right?
river.
This gentleman over here.
are
This gentleman over here. Each person is making
putting
a
you in the
so
flow.
awesome. Everybody's doing something awesome with cannabis.
Everybody's in here.
Right? Because you can't get high.
For a good reason.
Right, let me explain one thing. Bob, let me finish this, brother. All right, let me finish this. You going to get to the end?
Go,
I'll get to
Dad.
the end. Okay. All use is medicinal. Let me drop that like that.
R&R.
Right. It can't. It's all use. If you ever met someone with a healthy endocannabinoid system, cannabis is disruptive to them. They hate it, and I don't mean it to be mean. Right? They're uncomfortable.
Exactly.
But from the standpoint of the spiritual, the Native American, when they say medicine, and when the people from the islands are talking about juju, it's like the spiritual. It's the spiritual. And if your spirit is not tuned in, you're gonna die.
Okay.
And the spiritual aspect of the plant must not be ignored.
I love that about Bob. I'm just gonna leave it right there. Now I'm gonna finish my point.
I'm
Now the
okay.
thing I want to say is this, right? All use is medicinal, right? The bottom line is because the people who can't take the medicine from it, they drop it, and that's the thing you got to know, right? Even when people are puffing quote unquote, what the fuck is recreational? What a slur that is, right? I never heard anybody who takes on the cannabis.
Well, recreational is equated with
Right.
irresponsible.
Exactly. Right there you go, brother.
It's
a
these
slur.
people are just out there for
So we're gonna
having
leave you
fun.
with this
no,
thought.
you're trying to heal
Right.
everything
Some kind
that
of
the
pain is
outside
trying to
world
be
is
killed.
trying to
Right.
do to you.
Somewhere.
And this is how you do it.
Right. Somebody told me today, Doc, I heard about you. I want to come see you. I heard you work miracles, right? I say, that's not true, right? The miracle's in you, but I'll take the money, right? But for real. And I told him
And
the truth.
you need to. You got
No, I
rent,
tell them the truth.
You got
The
a
way that
mortgage.
makes me different. This is what makes me different as a doctor. I look at you as like a Cadillac stuck on the ice. You're a Cadillac stuck on the ice. You're spinning your wheels and you can't go nowhere. Now our system's obsessed with, oh my fucking God, let's change the engine. Oh, maybe four wheels is the wrong way to go. Maybe we take that wheel off. Give you a fifth wheel.
You gotta change what's
No.
underneath.
Throw some kitty linder under the fucking wheel and watch that thing fucking fly. Most difficult cases, it's something simple that's been missing. And I'm telling you, the simple thing for most people is good rest, CBD, THC entourage effect,
Good food.
good food.
And the thing that relaxes you in
Right.
a very natural
Now you got it, bud.
fashion.
Now you
It's
got it.
not traumatic. You're just relaxed.
Your guru is already speaking to you when you experience euphoria. When we can follow through on what makes us euphoric, right? That's when we get to live and be high. That's why I'm so interested in people getting paid to play in cannabis right now. The fact that you get to go is part of the way that you take care of your family, right? You're part of this community. These gentlemen, same thing. They're making their careers sharing the flower. That is economy of scale. This is something that we can live with, right?
But it's a religious mission.
Okay. All right, that's good. I don't have to pay taxes on your church.
Or spiritual.
Right, I don't want to. You can keep the money. That's good. It should be a spiritual mission, right? Right, that's okay. A lot of churches, some of them make money, some of them don't. I want people to do both.
The
right?
Church of
They
the
call it a
Sacred
practice.
Plant. Could you do a worse
Yeah.
thing?
All right,
Come
so we're
on.
gonna wrap. Right? Is there anything else we want to tell you about that? About
I mean, you know what a plant does?
You know what the plant does?
Everything.
Everything.
If I'm going to be
Saves
impaled on a
lives.
cross, make it out of hemp.
Right on.
Exactly.
Jay, I want you to take, so in a little bit, we're going to get back to, we're going to talk to Gino Giancana, who actually has been part of the whole Contel Pro and orchestrating. He actually has some insight on the death of Biggie, death of Tupac. If we can get to it, we're going to talk about that. And how
Well,
the
and this
government-
is John Lennon's 37th
Right,
anniversary
absolutely.
of
There's some
dropping
deep
off
shit
the
that he's
grid
gonna,
or
I
whatever.
don't know if we can get into it, but basically the idea is that we have been brainwashed and that cannabis is the only way to undo it. I can't tell you how fucking deep the brainwash goes because I don't have the capacity to tell you.
No,
They killed Bob Marley
it's
because
not
he wanted to share-
brainwashing. They're trying to
Yeah.
shellac us
It's
into oblivion, and we're not going to let them.
Right. So anyways, we're going to talk to Gino after the break. Jay, if you take us to the Chomsky, maybe we can get some fucking disinformation out of here. Marvin, Big Bong, I am so...
That's the way you turn people into automata. You control them, separate them from one another, drive any human instinct out of their heads, make them see themselves as nothing in life except adding to my useless commodities. And I don't care about anybody else because you're not supposed to care. If you can get to that point, then you really have people under control. You don't need security forces. I mean, we have a tremendous amount of privilege and freedom, just incomparable. There's nothing in the world like it. The question is, do we want to use it? I mean, they can act to a certain extent. They cannot counteract organized, active public opinion. I mean, you can't even do that in a dictatorship. That's almost impossible in a more free society. That's why there's so much propaganda, to try to prevent people from using the power that they have, either by marginalizing them or isolating them or making them passive consumers or making them feel hopeless or whatever. A huge amount of effort goes into that. Probably $1 trillion a year goes into marketing, which is mostly just attitude control. Try to make people passive consumers who don't do anything. But they don't have to agree to that. You can change it. First of all, it's all reversible. I mean, the means of controlling people by violence have mostly disappeared in countries like the United States. In fact, if you look at the history of propaganda, it was developing precisely out of a very conscious understanding on the part of privileged sectors, elites, that they were losing the capacity to control the population by force. Just people had won too much freedom. They wouldn't submit to force, couldn't do it. So therefore you had to control attitudes and opinions. And the way you do that is in part by indoctrination and the school system and the news and that sort of thing. But in large part, the way of controlling depends on that right away to be inducing hopelessness, making people feel helpless, and isolated, separate one another.
We got a Skype thing going next.
Like the ideal society would be based on dyad, you and the two, but no further interaction among people, because that's danger. And a lot of what's been going on over the last century, and is going on right at this moment, is about that, because it is understood that things like Medicare, Social Security, schools, other such things are based on an unacceptable principle that has to be driven out of people's minds. It's the principle that you're supposed to care about somebody else.
You can't see shit with these sunglasses on.
You're supposed to care as a member of a democratic community. You're supposed to care whether the widow.
You got me, man.
Starves, and you've got to drive that out of people's heads. Because if people have those ideas, they might act.
Oh my God, is he live on the air? Whoa,
He's live.
Is he live?
He's
Can
here.
you talk to
Am I
him?
live?
Are you talking?
I hear him.
Don't say anything.
Do we see him?
Can you see him? Can you see him? Can you tell where he is? Make sure he's.
I can't see shit with these sunglasses.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's all right. But
Gino, Gino.
Can you flip him up and see the
Gino,
screen?
can you see us? Gino, you okay?
Gino.
Yeah, I can see you.
He's in
Oh,
protective
no.
custody.
Oh, I see you down there. I see you. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Listen,
Dr.
so last
Gino.
time.
I didn't go into hiding.
Talk to us.
Hiding. Can't tell you why, because then I'd have to kill everybody. But
No, right. Yeah.
So last time, so Gino was on the show for the first 3 episodes.
Right.
And all of a sudden, people found out what was going on.
Yeah.
Right. And so now he
His
can't be on the show anymore
family's
directly.
up in arms about it. It's like you're associating with wrong people.
Right. So listen, I got to ask you. Listen, Gino, one of the things I got to ask you.
man,
One of the things.
I'm getting all kinds of feedback, dude.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, can there is there any way to put him in a? Oh, I see him. Oh, I love the. You could probably light yourself a little better.
No.
Dudes.
No, don't do anything.
That's a spectral face.
Let me ask you now. Let me ask you.
Scary.
I'm going to ask you.
Ooh.
All right, now.
A little more light.
Are we going to war? What do you know about? What do you know now? What do you hear?
Right
Are we?
now, everything is crazy, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think we're going to be able to make the connection. I think
I'm
it's.
getting all kinds of feedback and
not gonna work.
repeated conversations and.
Oh no!
It's
All right.
crazy.
No. They must know we're going to talk to them.
Yeah.
All right. They must know. All right.
Well,
Gino,
they're looking at
stay
us now.
safe. Stay safe. Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna cut it
No,
out.
don't do
I
anything
don't want
that's
you to do
gonna
anything
hurt
wrong. All right. It's okay. Listen, I'll talk to you later. This guy.
It's all over the place, dude.
It's all over the place.
It's everywhere.
That's all right. Listen, That's
There's
all
a
right.
thing in Utah. Well, no, it's not. It's in Utah. There's how many acres in Utah dedicated to storing data?
Okay, so next week we're gonna have
Metadata. It's nothing personal. Metadata is totally personal.
So next week on the show, we're gonna have someone who does dope Uber. Have you ever heard dope Uber? This guy's got a great no, for real, he's got a great brand. Now he does a couple of great businesses, and he's going to be our guest next week.
I
Now,
think
I'm
that's a
really
great
excited
thing.
about people who have creative businesses in DC. Right, this is a perfect way to use the gift economy. Drive people.
Several circumstances would rather have me ride than drive,
Right.
and enjoy the ride.
Right.
Sure.
Sure, who
Duber
doesn't want
sounds
dope
good
Uber?
to me.
Right,
But
Who doesn't want-
is Duber copyrighted?
I don't know, Duber, right?
Duber.
Let me ask you this, Rev, right, Rev, right, Rev,
Uber.
right, Rev, right, Rev. You have the
Right,
best
Rev.
right now. You have in front of you. You would
God
have,
bless you.
You would have the best weed in the world. Now you
Oh.
have two motherfuckers to smoke it with: Al Franken or Roy Moore. Who the fuck are you gonna smoke it with?
Oh, come on.
Which fucker are you smoking? Who are you puffing with?
Really?
Right now, right, Rev. You gotta save their soul.
Oh,
Who
I
you
want
save?
the one that's into 14-year-old girls. Well,
Which
God
one?
damn, she looked like she was 16 anyway.
Right. So you're gonna go. You're gonna help
Holy
out Roy
cow.
Moore. You're more compassionate than me.
Oh, no, but I'm being sarcastic.
Okay? Yeah, right. I would
Sorry.
want to get puffed with Al Franken because I think he'd be funny.
I've always wanted to puff
I
with
don't
Al.
get that. Right? What happened to him?
Oh, no.
No.
Well, he's a voice. He's against the whole thing that's going on with bears' ears in the national parks and stuff.
Oh.
And there's Democrats that are making money on stuff,
look it-
man. There's oil.
So,
There's oil.
so this is what the object lesson here is. When you try to play along with the status quo, look what the fuck they do to you. Here's this guy, Al Franken, your happy hippie, right? Do you think the
The
people
Al
who
Franken
think like this
century can
are going to help
still
their
happen.
own? No, exactly. Not going to happen.
Well, it can
That's
still
why being a radical, standing up for what you believe in matters. The hippie generation fucked up and lost, if you notice anything about what they've done. Right? They cannot lead. They cannot actually live up to their ideals.
Well,
And it's up
so
to us.
far, so far.
No, fuck y'all. The hippie generation went to Gucci faster than like the whole goddamn
I'm
70s.
part of
went
that generation.
yeah, I know.
Well,
I don't mean it. Look, generational concepts are a little bit fascist in concept. Right?
It
It's not
is.
fair. It's not fair to do collective punishment or to paint with such a
broad
stroke.
strokes.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
guilty
true.
of broad strokes
But that's the
myself.
way they want us to think. And what I'm trying to say is but look at the model of failure. Right?
Oh.
Look at that. Right? The only way
And especially when you're trying to do a good thing.
Right.
Stuff comes
Franken
back at you,
wasn't
and
the-
it's like you're
right.
buried. Forget
Franken
it.
is the best and the
all
worst.
the stuff you wanted to do that was good. Well, we got all this stuff you did that was. Got something mellow.
Right. So that's the thing that blows my mind. Right.
Oh.
Right. So if we could puff anybody up, I would puff up Franken.
Well, yeah. I would record Al Franken when we're baked and edit it so that he's not saying anything because God, everybody's listening
Now,
to
you all think
every
that I'm
little
fucking
bit
with you.
and piece that is
No.
coming out of your mouth now.
These people live in town. So part of the show is I'm going to go to Al Franken's house.
Ooh.
All right, we're going to go there. We know
Let's
where these,
go.
We know where these fuckers live.
Oh, I want to go.
Mr.
Ruthie.
Franken?
You know Ruthie.
Yeah, exactly. I know these fuckers. Do you know what they need? They all have carpal tunnel. They all need chiropractors. They all got migraines. Right? Listen, I've been taking
We
care
can
of a
do
lot
a
of
remote
these
with
people.
Al.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm going. I'm
Right?
going.
Okay. Who do you want to talk to first?
Al.
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 I wanna help-
Immediately.
I want to help him out. He's a little depressed.
Oh, he's bound
Gotta
to be
depressed.
bummed.
Gotta be bummed.
But also with Al, I can't imagine that he's not working on a plan.
I don't know. No, he's
No,
apparatchik.
no,
he's done.
no.
All right, listen. What we're going to leave you with is this, right? The disease of our time is a failure of imagination. Right?
Yeah.
You get your
well,
imagination
you're
online?
Discouragement of imagination.
right.
It's
That's-
designed to make you not use your imagination.
Right. So how do you actually love each other?
There's a Chuck Mangione song about the land of make-believe. It features a female vocalist that is out of this world. If you can Google it, it's probably on YouTube. The land of make-believe. I defy you not to cry. It's so beautiful, and you need to imagine.
You
Get
need to
out there
imagine?
and imagine.
You just imagine it.
You have to, because if you don't,
Right. So the vision is this.
they got you.
The endocannabinoid system is the healer within. Letting the endocannabinoid system be truly healthy, I don't think as the cannabis community we've mastered that concept yet. What we're doing right now is supplementing and treating cannabis as a drug, right? And what's it end up doing is that we're enabling a lot of the predispositions of our broke down society.
Yep.
And to let cannabis do its job, to really fulfill its potential, right? I challenge the cannabis community. Can you be high all the time? No, for real. Can you be high all the time? Now, one of the things that when people screw all the time, what's interesting, if people have more sex and they're not in loving relationships, you know what happens?
They get jaded.
Yeah, they hate sex.
Yeah, it's just a thing.
Now, one of the things, if people puff more than they actually want to, what happens? They hate the parts of their lives that they really can't ignore. That's what I'm telling you. I want people to saturate their lives with cannabis. I want people to absolutely put their lives, their mentality through the panic attack test. Can you actually take
Everything right now
Right.
is designed for you to be in
In
panic mode.
You got
That's
it.
the whole point.
The culture
They're
of panic.
trying to make you feel desperate. People
Right.
do not succumb to feeling desperate, because that's what they want you
Right.
to do.
Right. That's the other side of Jah Rastafari. The Irie feeling.
Calm down.
We are
These
he-
dinosaurs are gonna die.
The dinosaurs are going to die. And they'll suck you down if you don't get happy. That's the weird thing. Let me explain this last thing.
Open your heart, but don't be a dummy.
All right, so
Get out there and love, and just be as good to your fellow man as you can, and you know how to
why.
be careful.
I'll explain why. All right, so they took these cells, human cells, that were infected with the AIDS virus. Okay, infected AIDS viruses cells. Now what they do is that they hit it with endocannabinoids. We're called neuropeptides. These are cell-to-cell indicators.
Neuropeptides.
Now what does you do when you give
Beneficial protein.
when you give an infected AIDS cell happiness, the neuropeptides of happiness? What happens to that AIDS cell?
It disappears.
It cannot replicate. Now, if you give that cell that has not been infected yet, but you bomb it with happiness chemicals, natural happiness chemicals, what happens if you try to infect it?
It won't happen.
It won't get infected, right? Because the human cell, the only way it gets infected, it's like a lock and key mechanism. The human cell, when it's unhappy, that key, the lock and key is open almost.
And
like
it's
anything.
looking for something.
Looking for something. If you're happy and you flood your life with happiness, right? That's the heaven on earth. It's as simple as that, my community. And when I see you happy, I know I'm doing my job as a doctor, because you'll be well. Now, I can't do everything, but I want to teach you how to floss. I don't want to be taking people off the ground, right? You know what I mean? And doing the stuff that they can do on their own. If people would take on the plant, take on cannabis, and then, right, you don't have to change your diet. Here's the beautiful thing. If you take on enough cannabis, what's going to happen is your own diet's going to say, I don't want to eat that fucking cheap Burger King meat anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to eat something that's good for my soul.
Yeah, that's why you see anybody who takes on the cannabis,
Yeah.
slowly but surely,
Hey.
they migrate to a healthier diet.
If you're imbibing a plant on one side, a salad on the other side might make sense.
Right. So undoing the over medicalization is this, and we'll just leave you with this thought, right? That when you increase the peace, that's how you heal. Increase the peace and take it on as a meal.
Angry people don't get well.
They don't. Get
People
high
that
today.
are happy and people that have love
Right.
get well.
My friends, you have the solutions. I want to hear from you on Instagram, on Facebook. You know who you are. Keep on sending us your feedback. Tell us how you
Come
grow
to
the plant
us.
within. Right? Inside of you got that divinity, and I want you to make it so. Tell us how you do it, right? Thanks for watching.
Bless
For
you.
being here.
Bless you.
Jah Rastafari every day. God
Every
bless
day.
all. Peace to you. Take us out. Put us some Chomsky.
Little
Something like
Chomsky.
that.